Welcome back. It's Thursday night here in the Hotel Orloff, here in scenic Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We've been for about a week going through Gold Key and Dell comics. My main goal was trying to figure out if I had a particular Davy Crockett comic, which I recalled having Davy Crockett at the Alamo. And I haven't been able to find it, but then I remembered in the middle of the night last night that that's a Disney comic, and I had separated my Disney Gold Key and Dell into separate boxes in a moment of insanity. Let's straighten the camera. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's better. All right, so let's finish looking. And then I found some Gold Key and Dell last night that were misplaced that I had planned to file in, so I've got to do that. So there's several things we've got to do tonight during tonight's exciting Thursday episode. You have to bear with me, I'm half asleep. Okay, so we were looking at something. Man from Melvin, no. Oh, I see where we were. We were, when we left off, we were looking at Tom and Jerry. This, you've all heard of Tom and Jerry. The cartoons are still shown on television today, although heavily edited because I think they edited out, there was a maid, wasn't there, that was a racial stereotype, and I think they edited out that or did something where they gave her a British accent or something. I think all you ever did was see her legs. Am I correct on that? Okay. The Lone Ranger's faithful companion, Tonto. This is a Dell comic. There he's saying, hey, peace, guys. It's groovy. We're heading to Woodstock. Okay. Now, I'm trying to remember. These top comics were Gold Key, Whitman. They... Man, I'm trying to remember. I think they gave these away at some stores, or they were... Or am I thinking of March of Comics, which were the little tiny books? They gave them away like at shoe stores. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really remember what the deal was with the top comics. I remember reading about it the other day, but oh, there's some nice pen work there. What do you think of that? I just can't really remember. Oh. They were probably giveaways. See, this one has 15 cents, just has a sticker on there. But this top oh, you know what? I think they were in packs, kind of like the Whitman comics. I think they were in 3-packs. See, this one doesn't even have a price on it, which indicates it's really not meant to be sold individually. I'm guessing. I can't do research right now because I'm recording this on my phone, and that's how I would do research. Here's the Top Comics Little Monsters. Maybe I probably should put this with the Little Monsters, but it's with the Top Comics, so that's what you get. And then we go to this tremendous Hanna-Barbera show, Top Cat, which I thought was spectacular from start to finish. The opening credits were great. It's kind of a cat version of Sergeant Bilko. Every cat was voiced by a comedian that most people don't remember today, but if you were around in the 1960s watching Ed Sullivan, they were kind of comedians that had been around for a while. Top Cat is Arnold Stang, who does a lot of cartoon voices. He's this weird-looking little thin nebbish of a guy. You see him if you ever watch Hercules in New York, also known as Hercules Goes Bananas, where they have a very young Arnold Schwarzenegger when he first came to the United States, could barely speak English, and they have him playing Hercules. And then Arnold Stang is like his sidekick. and they're complete opposites. Arnold Stang being a real thin, skinny guy. The amusing part is that his voice, Schwarzenegger's voice was so bad that they dubbed him over with a Herculean-sounding voice, and it's funny coming out of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but oh well. Top Cat. Top Cat was wonderful, one of my favorite things of all time, but it was more popular in Mexico and maybe some of the countries in South America. I don't know. I know it was popular in Mexico, where he was known as Don Gato. And yeah, it was just like a gang of stray cats, you know, basically in the city. Okay, Trag and the Sky Gods. I believe this is another one from Don Glut's mind. It's a very good cover. Reminds me of a scene in From Russia with Love, the James Bond movie, that fight scene there. Yep, I'm correct. Sorry. See, I'm always correct. Story by Don Glut, and the art is by Dan Spiegel. Trag and the Sky Gods. You know what I wish I had was that Wolfman poster. Wouldn't that be great? How big are these things? I can't read a thing. They have several, you know, they have several King Kong posters. I mean, there's one, two, another one, Raquel, that's that classic Raquel Welch poster. This is a great poster. This is how you decorate your dorm. Before there was Hot Topic. What's that other place? Man, I can't remember. Urban Outfitters, who had comic book ads. And the National Lampoon had some pretty good poster ads too. And then you could get these transfers to put on your t-shirt. Oh boy. Here's the scene that's depicted on the cover. It happens inside too. The big fight. Okay, Turok, son of Roger Stone. Turok was the son of Roger Stone, Donald Trump's advisor, and he was a fierce guy that fought dinosaurs. See, there's Roger Stone's son. And Turok, son of Stone. This was started as Adele, moved to Gold Key. This is from not a good month. See there, 3/11. That means 1963 November, meaning November. You know, that's when Kennedy was killed by our own government. Although that's not really. The comics that would have been on the stand when the Kennedy assassination happened would have been dated January of '64. Comics are always dated 2 months in advance, but that's actually the cursed date there. Now you've got John F. Kennedy's nephew trying to complete what his uncle would have done, and his father, who was also assassinated. So, after Trump, he'd be probably the next guy that you'd want, because when the media pushes back and everyone says, no, we don't want that guy, that's probably the guy you want. They don't like Trump, they don't like RFK Jr., but the media's all in, yeah, let's bring in DeSantis. That means there's some secret problem with DeSantis that maybe you don't know about yet. Maybe his ties to the World Economic Forum, something like that. Here's another Turok. Okay, and that's the end of this box, but the box continues upstairs. I was pulling comics out of it last night on the 4-Color Fossils show, showing them. So this is Let's see what we can do here, ladies and gentlemen. Gold Key Comics Box 3. I've got some Roadrunners. Okay, that's Box 2. So, how have you been doing on this wonderful Thursday? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's the wonderful day that everyone loves. Friday. And it's the July 4th weekend, because July 4th falls on a Tuesday. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. What is the day when we're not going to get mail? Obviously, July 4th, Tuesday, we won't get mail. But that means we don't get a 3-day week. People like 3-day weekends. So usually they kind of, change when they celebrate things, like Martin Luther King's birthday and things. But July the 4th, it's kind of hard to, lie about that date. Martin Luther King's birthday, we know it's in January. What is it, the 22nd? It's not like a date everyone just knows. July 4th, it's pretty hard to just celebrate it on July the 3rd, Oh, well. I think everyone's going to do, like a lot of people do with their birthdays, I'm going to have a birthday party. I'm going to celebrate it on the Saturday closest to my birthday. So I think that Saturday's going to be when all the big fireworks displays are going to be. I don't know. What's going on in your little town, your community? Of course, there's kind of been a drought here in South Carolina, and I don't know, maybe dangerous people shooting off those fireworks, man. Beep, beep, the Roadrunner. Ladies and gentlemen, we're putting Beep Beep the Roadrunner into the B section. Okay, now we have to head on upstairs. Yes, indeed. So, how are you guys doing? Wonderfully. Did you guys have a nutritious breakfast? And how was your lunch? Was it great? Fantastic? Okay. Let's go get more Gold Key. And then if we have time, we'll start looking through the Disneys. Actually, I'm gonna cheat, because I want to know if I have that Davy Crockett comic. So I'm gonna go ahead and look in the Disney box real quick. Oh, that dog has left one of his toys on the stairs. That's not safe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not safe. All right. Well, July 4th. Oh, Saturday night. Trump is going to be here in South Carolina. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. This weird bootleg Barbie was on the floor, making me think that Drew might have gotten a hold of it to chew on it, but this insane looking friend of the Silver Surfer, it's the Silver Surfer's girlfriend, seems to be intact. Damn, what was that? Okay. What was that? Okay. All right. Oh. This Lassie comic. Okay, so. Okay, and then these other comics I found last night have to be filed in. All right, let's go. Here's a Disney comic that has to be filed in with the Disney books. Okay, the Disney books are in this closet here. So let's head on in. Okay. Archie, Disney. Okay. Disney Comics Box 1. See that? Okay. Beagle Boys, Chippendale, Daisy and Dawn. Wait. Davy Crockett, Beagle Boys, Chippendale, Daisy and Donald Duck. Man. That's ridiculous. Davy Crockett. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Drew. Davy Crockett should be here. I'm starting to wonder where the heck Davy Crockett is. Of course, it's always possible I could have filed it under W for Walt. Wouldn't that be crazy? I'll worry about that another day. We've got things to do. It's Thursday, man. Got stuff to do. Okay, so what am I doing here? Gold Key Comics Box 4, yes. Okay. How am I going to carry this box down? Well, I'll put you guys on top of this. Okay. All right. Let's head on down, man. Oh. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was for those of you that like to complain about the camera work on the show. Punishment. How dare you? How dare you? I'm going to do some giveaways on this channel to try to build subscribers because, you know, Last night we had the four-color fossils, right? And it's something that's been an institution for several years on Wednesday night. And this, I noticed there was another member of the comic book the comic book community, neighborhood, that started a live stream right in the middle of our live stream. Can you imagine the audacity? And I thought, well, that person's got thousands of subscribers. So I was watching as that live, and I saw, oh, here's a $25 donation, $10 donation. Once you have $1,000, I'm sorry, I'm thinking money. Once you have 1,000 subscribers, people can send you money, just to, oh, keep on going, you're doing so wonderfully. And I thought, that's great, man. I want to have 1,000 subscribers. Give me the power to have 1,000 subscribers. So I can't get the 560, man. So maybe if you can advertise, among your friends, let them know about this fantastic channel, and you can send a few subscribers my way, and then put a comment down below in the chat. It's like, hey, I just let my friends know, and I think you got 3 new subscribers because of me, right? Then I'll enter you into some contest, and you can get free episodes of the Tomb of Terror, a television show that I've been producing. And I had a whole bunch of orders, but they've kind of dwindled off. I think, this isn't, they have a new term for what we're going through, this wonderful explosion in our economy, this time of great prosperity. They're calling it Bidenomics. They actually were stupid enough to come up with a name for it. And they're saying how wonderfully we're doing now. So yes, because of Bidenomics, I don't think a lot of people can afford to buy the Tomb of Terror, 2-hour episode for $20, postage paid, but you could probably afford to get a free one in the mail. So that's what I'll do. I'll start giving away maybe an episode every couple episodes. I'll give away today I'm gonna give away episode 23 of Tomb of Terror, or episode 1 or something. You think that's a good idea? You think maybe that'll help? Because boy, if I went live and people were dropping money, that would be great. It would just, not that I'm greedy, but then I can convince my wife, hey, this YouTube thing, it is profitable. It's not like I'm just goofing off with my friends. Look, we have enough money to go eat tonight. People always say, I'm giving you $5 for coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee. Give me $5 to buy more Turok, son of Roger Stone. Look at this great painted cover, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of these great covers are by a painter named George Wilson, and I need to find out more about this wonderful individual. Here's look at this Gold Key Giant. The Dell Giants had different kind of spine. This one's been well loved by little Rugrats several generations ago. Look at this wonderful painting. How could a kid resist a comic like this? And dinosaurs everywhere. Here's Whitman variant. Whitman, that basically just means it was, that looks just like my childhood Allosaurus model kit from Aurora. What was I talking about? Oh boy, 30-cent era, starting to get towards the end of the world because of the UPC code, right? The 20-cent era still was good. I think this might have been the first Turok comic I ever bought. Until these aren't in order. Look at that, how wonderful that is. I'm pretty sure this might be the first one from November of 73. November of 73. So I was in 3rd grade, and so I guess when I was in 3rd grade, it had been exactly 10 years since Kennedy was killed. I was not alive when Kennedy was killed. I was born in 1865. 35-cent one. The last time that, he's using Bidenomics. They even have signs printed when that cretin was talking last night. The before that was Reaganomics, but wasn't that used as a negative term, like they were insulting him? Oh well. Here's March of '75. These Native Americans called the dinosaurs honkers, because I guess they made honking noises. We don't know. There's a lot we don't know about dinosaurs. What were the sounds they made? Were they roars like you see in the movies? How do we know what they sounded like? We don't even really know what colors they were. How do we know what colors they were? All we have are skeleton, fossils. How about that? This is from December of '81. Spider-Men and Monkey People pit Turok against Endar in Mortal Kombat. But you know what's great is it's '81, and I think that by then, in the last death throes of Gold Key, I think these books were only sold in 3-packs, and I guess they got rid of the UPC code. I notice on these new comics that are on the stands today that they made the UPC. They started making the UPC code real skinny, and I think that helps visually. But next week I saw on the Gotham City Comics YouTube video that shows the DC Comics coming out next week. There's a reprint of the very first appearance of the Doom Patrol in My Greatest Adventure, and probably from around the Kennedy assassination time, and it looks really good. Looks pretty authentic. The cover looked pretty authentic. So anyway, that's something coming up next week that is exciting. Coming out on, I guess, on July 4th. Yeah, because DC Comics can be sold on Tuesdays, and Marvel Comics are sold on Wednesdays. A lot of comic stores just have all the new comics out on Wednesday, but technically they could sell the DC Comics on Tuesday. See, this is This is April of '82. See, they're not even trying the painted covers anymore. Okay. Here's a Dell, Tweety, and Sylvester. It's got a train cover. The Twilight Zone. Oh, these aren't in order, are they? This is a childhood copy. This is the first one I ever bought. This is my childhood copy from November of '73. Again, look at that. Caution, Budweiser powered. I don't think people would wear that today. The Twilight Zone was one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Rod Serling was a genius, a genius, and every episode had a twist ending. Some people call it an O. Henry ending, an ironic ending. EC Comics were written that way. Those were brilliant. Could these comics really match that? No. They brought back Rod Serling 10 years later with Night Gallery. And that show was vastly inferior to The Twilight Zone. Um, it, it it had some fantastic episodes, but overall, the writing was not up to par, and also it just had kind of an ugly 1970s look at times. This is from March of '75. Oh, wait. I've got 2 copies of it. For those of you that care, the newsstand would look like that, and then the one that was sold in a 3-pack. Both are first printings. The one that would be sold in a 3-pack was had the Whitman label. Whitman was the parent company of Gold Key, and you'll see coloring books with the Whitman logo and other children's books. The Twilight Zone. Well, I have 2 copies of that one. That's amazing. Yeah, the cave people even came into the Twilight Zone book. Almost looking like one of the other titles from Gold Key. This is not a painted cover. I don't know what kind of different medium something they use there. This is a Whitman. I never saw the I bought these comics, but I never saw the Twilight Zone until we moved to Tacoma, Washington in the 75 to 76 school year. And on Sunday afternoons, they started running 2 episodes of the Twilight Zone, and they run those for a while, and then they would switch it out, and they would show 1 episode on a Sunday of The Outer Limits. So it would be the same time slot would sometimes be Outer Limits, then they'd switch it, and it would be Twilight Zone for a while, and you get 2 episodes. Or maybe it was 2 episodes of The Outer Limits, which was an hour-long show, and 4 episodes of Twilight Zone. I just don't remember. This is a terrible cover. It looks like art on the side of a van or something painted on the side of a brick wall in like East LA. I just don't like it. Or you know, it's like look at the art my daddy sent me from prison. That's the kind of thing. Here's Maskatron fighting Colonel Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man. Yes, indeed. Twilight Zone. Anyway. Another cover that's, I mean, it's okay, but it's not like a painted cover. They've got some photographs of, it's like a little photo collage they've got there in the background. That's less art you have to actually paint if you just glue in some photographs from somewhere else. Oh, I've got another copy of that same fantastic issue. That's from September of '75. From September of '76. This is one I think I have 2 copies of, don't I? Why, yes, I do. Another one is a Whitman variant. Beautiful cover. See how much better the painted covers are? Finally, we're going to be done with the Gold Key because we're up to the T's. We're going to be done here pretty quick. We'll finish it this episode. This is my earliest one, or is it? This is February of 1966. I was watching someone the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, talking about they were really looking for this particular issue, and it was very hard to find because this individual collected covers with UFOs on them, and he just was really having a hard time finding this particular issue of the Twilight Zone. Anyway, I've got it, so the guy that was looking for this is that auctioneer that he's like a wrestler, you know, gruff, big guy that he's the guy that got mad that someone tried to offer him less than $250 for a 1940s Wonder Woman. So he said he just tore the thing in half and threw it off camera. And it was kind of appalling, you know, for comic collectors to see something, a Golden Age comic, just torn in half. And anyway, that guy is apparently coming back and is going to have another auction soon. But I know, I was watching him, I saw he's like a UFO collector. So I'm sure he would love this comic, UFO Flying Saucers, which purports to tell you true stories of UFOs. There was a TV series, I remember, that had pretty good special effects in the early 80s, late 70s, called Project UFO. And it was from Jack Webb. Jack Webb, you know, of course, was the guy behind Dragnet, which was about plainclothes detectives in Los Angeles, and they were all supposed to be true stories, you know, from the LA police files. And then Adam 12 about patrol guys in a patrol car in Los Angeles, and those are all supposed to be based on true stories. And then he had the TV show Emergency, and I don't know if those were supposed to be based on real things that paramedics had encountered. Maybe. I kind of doubt it. But he liked to do shows about first responders. And then the Project UFO show was based on Project Blue Book that the government apparently put together in the 50s to investigate all the claims that, you know, after the late 40s, when a UFO supposedly crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, and then there were like people were seeing flying saucers everywhere, and it was all right after the testing of the first atomic bomb, and then when the bombs went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that in the late 40s and into the 50s, that's when the explosion of UFOs, and people say, well, those aliens aren't happy with us detonating weapons, and then some people say they're actually coming from the inside of the hollow earth through a hole down in Antarctica where you're not allowed to go. But Admiral Byrd said that he saw a hole, you know, where you go down and you go in, and supposedly, you know, it's like Edgar Rice Burroughs, you know, at the Earth's core, that you've got, you know, Pellucidar, that there's an inner sun, and then the horizon slopes up, and it's an inner world, you know. And they've got technology, and, you know, they don't like the fact that we're on the other side of their Earth blowing up those weapons, and they're, who knows, ladies and gentlemen. I have 2 copies of that beautiful cover. UFO and Outer Space. Fantastic stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how happy these, look at how happy she is, this little sea monkey. They're just such happy, frolicking creatures. Another one. Okay. And from August of '66, a beautiful, everything's beautiful about this, from the font to this painting, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, based on the Irwin Allen TV show. These, you know, Irwin Allen had his hit TV show adapted to Gold Key Comics. And then I guess he got inspired by one of the other Gold Key comics, Space Family Robinson, and did Lost in Space. And if Gold Key had sued Irwin Allen, well, then they wouldn't have been able to keep making this comic. So instead they just said, we know he kind of nicked the idea from us. Let's just roll with it and call it and rename our Space Family Robinson comic Space Family Robinson, and then in giant print put Lost in Space, and then we'll The Lost in Space crowd will buy our comic, even though it's a little bit different. Wacky Adventures of Cracky. No, it's not the autobiography of Hunter Biden. It's Cracky was like the little mascot of Gold Key there for a while. I think they had him on the front cover of crossword books that Whitman put out. I don't know why they have a parrot as their mascot. That's a book I bought as a kid, so let's see what the date is. This is a childhood copy. September 73. This one is June of 75. This one's earlier. This one I bought as a kid for sure. January, March of 74. Here's Wacky Races from May of 71. There's a model kit. There were model kits made of these cars, and one was just reissued of this great vehicle. They're all great. You look at this and you think, this show must, if you've never seen the cartoon, you think this show must be fantastic. And because it has all these wonderful cars, but in reality, the show's kind of annoying with the voiceover announcer, and I think they had a fake laugh track on it, and it just, I don't know. The design is great, but it just, it's just kind of, I don't know. The other one that's like that you would think is wonderful from the design of all the characters was the Groovy Ghoulies. It's another show where you've got, well, the Frankenstein character, Frankie, they've made him sound like Boris Karloff, but you've got this cool vampire witch character named Bella. It's a girl, and she's got this annoying voice, and it's like, why did you do that, man? Why did you pick that voice? And anyway, it's got some good music, but it's kind of more like, feels like laughing. Oh well. Wacky Witch. This is an original character that Gold Key came up with. Very different from Wendy, the good little witch over at Harvey Comics. This is a first issue. She's more of a hideous-looking kind of character. This is her cast of characters: a ghost and a dragon. This is from Why Do You Have to Put Black Ink on Purple? January of 1971. I was in kindergarten when this came out. This one here is my childhood copy, because I recognized it because I put that little number 1 there from a VHS sticker sheet. That's not on the comic, it's on the My Light sheet. That means it's issue 1. And every time I've seen this during my life, I bought it. And I've seen it 3 times, including the first time I bought it in 1971. It's not something you see very often. I'm not saying it's rare or scarce or that it was limited distribution or whatever. I'm just saying you just don't see, people don't sell this. Where do you know, I bought this one later. This one is from July of 71. It's just a book that comic stores probably just don't put it out on the floor. They figure this won't sell to anybody. And they're probably right. It would only sell to someone like me. This is April of 71. Wait, what? The first, oh yeah, they're all 15 cents. Okay, so when I first started buying comics, they were 15 cents. This one is July of 1974. So this one's right as I was about to go into 4th grade. But it feels thicker. There's something about this that's a little stiffer. Feels almost like, when the comic feels a little stiffer, almost like there's a backing board inside it. It means it's probably going to be a Mark Jewelers variant, and it is. And some people really will pay extra for a comic that has this, because there aren't as many that have this insert put in here. This insert just means it was sold at an army base. Usually an army base overseas, but not always. I think no, probably, I don't. This was not a childhood copy, because I would not have done that. Yeesh. It's this is not how I would treat a comic. Look at this damage. It's one I bought later. So I'm trying to remember if that Mark Jewelers variant stuff was in the comics I bought at the PX as a kid in San Antonio. I just can't remember, but I remember I think it could have been. It might have just been books sold to military bases, or was it military bases overseas? Whatever, they figure some GI, some lonely GI is reading Wacky Witch during basic training or something. It's like, I want to buy something for my, well, it wouldn't be during basic training. Just let's say they're stationed in Okinawa or over in Heidelberg, and they're oh, let me buy a ring for my girlfriend and have it sent to her. And Wacky Witch. I wish our soldiers were still reading Wacky Witch. Who knows what Obama or Biden, whoever's in charge right now, is making our soldiers read. Here's another issue of Wacky Witch. This one is from April 74. All right. When I was turning 9 years old in April of 74. See, they had these stories about a Robin Hood who's a mouse. It's Robin and his merry mice. And then they have, it's kind of like Casper in a way, in that you've got this witch that wears red, and you've got a ghost sidekick, like Casper and Wendy, that kind of thing. But it's not. It's different. And it seems to be set in medieval times as well. I remember that. There's like a castle with a king. Fantastic. Incredible. Oh, a Dell book. We were talking about this. Dell, they did superhero versions of monsters. So they had a superhero Frankenstein, a superhero Dracula, and a superhero werewolf. It's a collector's issue. The only superhero super spy in the world. Where did he come from? What is his real identity? The origin of werewolf. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? From December of '66, I believe that's what it said. Basically, 1966 was an explosion of superheroes all over the place, because in January, as '66 started, that's when the Batman TV show went on the air and exploded, and so they're even turning the superheroes into monsters. I'm sorry, the monsters into superheroes. All right. Wild Wild West. James Bond in the Old West, basically. Great show. Fantastic theme song. Here's Walter Lance's Woody Woodpecker. This is a childhood copy. Issue number 123 from May of '72. 15 cents. Like I said, when I first started buying comics, they were 15 cents. Here's a tremendous Woody Woodpecker cover from January of '75. It's a purple cover, and it's got spaceships. I love these comic covers where the characters are in rocket ships. And here's Gold Key, a little bit older because it's a wider comic. I think that says December of '66. The Gold Key kept making their comics wider, like all comics were in the golden age. They kept doing that into the '60s, and it just means you have to get sometimes bigger boards and bags, and sometimes certain comic boxes won't really accommodate the wider comics. Here's one of those Dell Giants, Woody Woodpecker's Back to School. A lot of times you would have giants dedicated to important events in children's lives, like going back to school, Halloween, Christmas, summer vacation. Those seem to be times when a giant comic was warranted. I put this, I know it starts with T, but I count this as Walter Lantz TV Funnies, so I filed it under W. The ads, of course, are fantastic. All new 1959 models. Usually comics from this time period are found in this condition or worse, but when they're in great shape, that's a wonderful day. Okay, so now we're up to Y. Second to last letter in the alphabet. This is a childhood copy. It was bought in a 3-pack. It's got the Whitman logo and with the Whitman logo covered up the numbers that tell you. So we have to open it up to find out when this came out. March of '72. It's going to be a county fair coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a demolition derby. I think I've got to record it and broadcast it here on the Orloff Inspirational Network. So if you think that would be a cool thing to watch, put the comment down below and all that. Remember to help me gain subscribers. Advertise the heck out of this channel. Thank you, Todd E. Walnuts. Got me some subscribers by recommending this channel on his page. Just help me out. I just want to get to 1,000, just so I can get a little bit, just so my wife doesn't look at this as total folly, which it really kind of is. But you know, I just like sharing with you guys and gals, or gal, I don't know how many. According to YouTube Studio, everyone that watches this is between like age 55 to 65, and it's 100% male audience, which isn't true, and 60% are in the United States. It says something like that, and 60-something% are subscribers that watch the show. I gotta watch the clock. Oh, and I think the last issue, the last thing in here is Zodi the Mod Rob. It looks like maybe there's some Hanna-Barbera TV show that you've never heard of, but no, that's not the case. It's just drawn in that style. It's actually from 1970. They came up with this idea all on their own. It was never a cartoon. He's an astrological terrestrial phenomenon doing his thing right here on terra firma. Zodi the Mod Rob. So it's a hippie robot. A brilliant idea. All right, so now I've got some books I need to file in here. So let's get started on that. First issue of Grimm's Ghost Stories. So first I'm going to put these in alphabetical order. And that's from January of '72. I recently got this from in the mail from the famous Mesa, Arizona institution, Gotham City Comics, which you should shop at, ladies and gentlemen. And the occult files of Dr. Spectre with this man-thing looking Swamp Thing. If you were tuned into Four Color Fossils last night, I showed these same books, so sorry to give you a repetition, but I was desperate for things to show last night. Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom. Dang, what does that say there? May of 65. If it was June of 65, this comic book would have been on the rack when I was born. I was born in April of 65, so to fill a comic rack with the comics that were on the rack on the morning that I was born, I would need June of 65 comics. Beautiful painted cover, Dr. Solar. Dr. Solar would be, O is before P. He's before Dr. Spectre. Dagar the Invincible. Another creation from the mind of Don Glut. Okay, fantastic. Dagar. These all seem to be books that start with D. It's strange. Here's Daffy Duck. This is a childhood copy from December of 73. Now, that means that's when they pulled it off the rack. In reality, this was on the stands October of 73. And the reason that you find in the October issues of some of these Gold Key comics, there's a fun catalog inside. That's showing you all the cool toys coming from Kenner Toys. And it gives you time to bug your parents and to write a letter to Santa asking for these toys. So that's what the deal is here. So let's look at that. So, you know, you're reading the adventures of Elmer Fudd, and then you encounter this incredible toy catalog. Hey Kids, the second annual edition, Kenner 16. Now, there was something like this in the Harvey comics in the early 60s, or early to mid 60s, maybe late 50s. There were toy catalogs in Harvey books. And those were more spectacular, but anyway. Baby Alive, she's almost real. Kind of like Joe Biden. He's almost alive. Look at that, man. Baby Alive. I just love my new doll from Kenner. She's soft and cuddly. I can comb her hair. She's so pretty. Oh, you even get to change her diaper. That's a lovely innovation. She eats, drinks, and fills a diaper. The further adventures of Gabbingale. It's a doll that talks in Spanish. Saludos, amigos. What are you doing, young lady? I'm talking Spanish to Gabigail for our trip to Mexico. So it's a doll that teaches you Spanish. Pedro comes todos los tacos. Does that mean Pedro eats all the tacos? Oh my God. Well, it starts with girl toys, clearly. And then this looks like maybe it's gonna be a boy toy with a Phantom Strikes, but it's actually one of those easy bake oven things. And the Phantom is trying to steal cookies made by... Okay, then you get into toys that, you know, could be for a boy or a girl. You know, your Snoopy toothbrush. And Then, this is before you had VCRs, and you wouldn't really be able to watch. The only time you'd be able to watch Fat Albert is on Saturday mornings. So if you want to watch Fat Albert at any time, you'd have to get one of these cassette movie projectors. And it's just so exciting. You can watch Fat Albert without sound, but in color, projected on a little miniature drive-in screen, and you could play it backwards and all that. Fantastic. Now, then you get the real fun. This is like the SSP, but this is TTP. I remember SSP. What was the difference in TTP, ladies and gentlemen? Pump the tower, hear the jet like wine. Oh, okay. Well, the SSP, you had a black cord that you put through, that you fed through. It had little gear. It was like a gear. It had gears on it, or a little. I don't know. You pull it out, and it would. I've got some downstairs. I could show you sometime if kids. I think you know, because you're supposed to be my age according to YouTube. Anyway, TTP, I guess you power them by pumping it up like this young man's doing. Turbo Tower of Power is what TTP means. Okay, this is what I'm familiar with. SSP. This is the type of toy that I was, the SSP. And then, of course, here's the Smash Up Derby, which I had and still have. I don't know if it's all intact, but you just would smash two cars into each other or into a wall, and the doors would fly off, and they already were all crunched up. It was I was thinking about my Smash Up Derby when I mentioned a moment ago. Do you want to see a real, because I don't know if they have demolition derbies in every part of the United States anymore. That's something from a bygone era. More SSP. Those were popular. What is this stuff? Let's play new C-action football, which I didn't care about because I was not a sports person. I've never been a sports person. Then you have little flying adventures. That's not a toy I ever had. Oh, and Yabba Dabba Doo, you got little sculptures, and you chip at it, and it would come out to be one of the Flintstones characters. And Spirograph, I never had one of those. See, there's that Cracky character that I was telling you was kind of their little mascot. And then they're advertising, watch these 13, they had these horrible cartoons that would come on. Watch 13 famous cartoon classics. On CBS Network, 11 on CBS Network and 2 in majors. Okay, CBS ran these horrible, it was like Classics Illustrated except terrible. They were all adaptations of like David Copperfield and Educate, it's like, not that they were bad books, but they were bad adaptations of things. What did they have? Robinson Crusoe, Robin Hood. It's like stuff your parents would want you to watch, but they were very badly animated. Were they done by Hanna-Barbera? I don't know. But they were sponsored by Kenner. So basically, you watch these shows and you'll see all our commercials for all the toys we just showed you. I just remember, visiting my grandfather in a nursing home, and one of those is playing on the television in the main area. I associate that with just no fun. It's like some things are like sour memories from the 70s. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I love that. But the little drummer boy, that was like, that's like, the same people made it, but there's something not right about that. Not quite right about that little drummer boy. What's wrong with him? I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's a great... I never liked that little drummer boy song, man. There's something wrong with that song. Something wrong with that. Yeah, that's 73, Christmas of 73 there. That's just one of the toy companies. That's what Kenner had. There were all the other companies, you know. Okay, so here's this is probably the issue right before that. It's from October of '73. Again, a childhood copy. Okay. Dell comic, very brittle, bad shape. See, that's the way these comics normally are. It's very unusual when you see in the bag little chips that have come off. It's so rare to see comics in beautiful white pages like the treasure trove just unearthed by Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. You need to shop there. Anyway, he just got a bunch of Dell and Gold Key, beautiful comics from the early 50s and late 40s. Anyway, Indian Chief. This is how the comics normally are found in the wild, if you could find them at all. Is in kind of bad shape, but this Indian Chief, White Eagle eating, I'm just going to file it under I for Indian Chief. I'm starting to get hungry for dinner, ladies and gentlemen. But I can't eat until 6:15 and it's 5:30. Here's a Leave It to Beaver comic. Apparently, I was told in the comments below, there's an episode of Leave It to Beaver. Well, not an episode of Leave It to Beaver, but they did the sequel in the 80s, like in 1985. There's an episode of Still the Beaver where he's an older guy and he has kids, and they've discovered that Beaver has a Fantastic Four #1, because he would have been in 62 when that came out. He was probably 12 in the TV show, so that would have worked out. Yeah, I watched that some. That it was a little depressing seeing June in a cemetery sitting there next to Ward's grave saying, "Ward, I'm worried about the beaver," who's now a guy in his probably 50s or something, or 40s, whatever it would have been then. Anyway, Little Iodine, another Dell book. Yogurt, that's a character no one remembers. That's nice artwork. How about that? Yeah, the artwork's pretty good in this. This big vinyl plastic wallet can be yours free. Look at how it says Comics Club. He's got his Comics Club card in there. Never leave home without it. JK. These are actually already in order, and I'm trying to put them in order, and it's funny how they're already in order. Lone Ranger. You immediately can identify this as pre the TV show, because after the TV show we know him only as always wearing a blue shirt. In fact, some of the real early Lone Ranger stuff is his mask covers, because he was described on the radio show as the masked rider of the plains, so it's not necessarily the mask that just covers the eyes. It could be here, but you know, he puts on other disguises too. Sometimes he disguises himself as an old man. He has different characters he plays. They showed that on the TV show. But you're riding around the desert and everything in the heat with that mask on, you're going to be pretty identifiable when you take it off, because you're going to look like a raccoon. You're going to have white. You're going to be real tanned or burned or tanned after you'd be real tan. And except for right around there, you know. But oh well. We're going to suspend our disbelief, ladies and gentlemen. And this Daffy, I think I showed you this the other day. I must have showed you a Gold Key reprint of it. So I remember I showed you this Sputnik. This immediately identifies this as late 50s. And then here's a Lassie comic from Dell. Lassie. Follow the adventures of Twinkles. Ooh, that's not good. This This is a horrible, horrible mess. Look at that. You got like, what do they call it? A wrap is missing. Yeah, there's someone has torn out basically 4 pages out of this book, which is why I got this in a stack of Wounded Wonders. Lone Star used to sell Wounded Wonders books and a stack of comics that were in too bad a shape to sell in Lone Star Comics. But you know, sometimes usually the whole book would be there, maybe missing a cover. In this case, it's missing a wrap. But it's a cool cover. Just, you know, they can't throw it away, but they can't really sell it. So they just sell it to you in a brick for like $10. And I actually got a beat up EC comic in one of them, and another one there were like 4 torn off covers of Weird Science and Haunt of Fear. Okay, let's see what we can file here. This box goes from Heckle and Jekyll to Neutro. So, what could we file in here? Heckle. Okay. Okay, so all these books can be filed into that box. Indian Chief, first of all. Huckleberry. I'm probably going to remember why I wasn't able to... No, they fit in here. I was going to say these books probably aren't going to fit in here because of their Golden Age size, but they're fitting in fine. Leave It to Beaver, King Leonardo, Korak, Little Lulu, we'll move back, Lidsville, Land of the Giants, Leave It to Beaver goes before Lidsville. Little Iodine. Little Iodine would go before Little Monsters. Little Monsters, Little Lulu. Little Iodine is before Little Lulu. Little Lulu, Lidsville. Whoa! Little Iodine. Oh, no problem. Lassie goes before Little Iodine. Lassie. Land of the Giants. Lassie, Leave It to Beaver. Lone Ranger. Okay, here's some Lone Rangers. Fantastic. Alright, that worked out. That box is now ready to go back upstairs. Okay, box 1, does it have Daffy Duck in it? Captain and the Kids, Dinosaurus, Dagar. Okay, Daffy Duck. Let's see. Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck, Daffy Duck. Dagar the Invincible. Yeah, this is going pretty quick. Dr. Solar. This Dr. Solar, that goes in there. Dr. Spectre. There's the occult files of Dr. Spectre. Here we go. Fantastic. One more box organized. Grimm's Ghost Stories is the only one left. Oh, my phone is running out of electrical energy. It's not feeling its Cheerios. We've got to plug the phone back into the atomic reactor here. 6. Oh my gosh. All right, so this will complete the Gold Key Dell episodes for a while, and then we'll, when we get some more, we'll have to file them in, and but we could go through the Disney stuff if you're up for it. Let me know if you're interested in seeing the Disney books in the chat. Okay, that's Outer Limits. That's box 3. So that means that Grimm's Ghost Stories must go in box 2. Magnus Robot Fighter. Little Monsters. Heckle and Jekyll. Oh no, Grimm's must go in box 1 then. We were just talking about the Lone Ranger. They're playing Lone Ranger, the William Tell Overture. Okay, Grimm's Ghost Stories, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Green Hornet. Grimm's Ghost Stories. Fantastic. All right. Gold Key is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Okay, fantastic. All right, fantastic, incredible. Well, I feel like I've accomplished something. Okay, I gotta go do something. I'll be talking to you guys real soon. Take care, bye.